return, and they not only want to prove people wrong, but they want to prove themselves right.
If you don't want to be held to a high standard, this is not the place for you. If you don't want to win championships, this is not the place for you. Because this is where it all starts.
This Texas-Michigan game, it's going to shape the season because we're going to figure out what Michigan is all about.
What do you see as the biggest challenges coming up with Texas?
They're extremely well coached. They're sound. They don't beat themselves on defense. They do a really good job there. Obviously, on the offense, quarterbacks explosive as any quarterbacks in the country, and we've got to do a good job of making him uncomfortable.
You played at Oklahoma. Did you ever horns down?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. We hope to see it again.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it.
13 players from last year's Michigan team were NFL picks. This year's schedule highlighted by Texas today, USC, Washington, Oregon, and of course the game at Ohio State this year. Coach, what should the realistic expectations for this Michigan team be this year?
Well, Brady, you talk about the ceiling. I got news. The ceiling changed last January. It changed in 1997 when you won a national champ. I experienced it at Florida in 06 and Ohio State 14. Expectations are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Every workout, every time you play a game, you don't win by enough games. Well, last year, so the pressure, every workout, every time you play a game, you don't win by enough games. Well, last year, so the pressure, every workout, every time you play a game, you don't win by enough games. Well, last year, so the pressure, every workout, every time you play a game, you don't win by enough games. Well, last year, so the pressure, every workout, every time. So the pressure on the players and coaching staff is immense. You have to live up to the standard. I'm still concerned about the offensive line. I've been saying it for the last 2 hours. Until that, and this is the trademark of not only the last few years, the history of Wolverine football. Almost said the M word.
Yeah, almost. Coach, you started to turn, Coach.
Until that O-line gets developed, and they're going to, this is a rugged group they're getting ready to play. That's the only thing that's going to keep them, I think, from hitting the ceiling or hitting the expectations.
The Michigan fans are wearing you down, Coach. That's what's happening. They're wearing you down.
Yeah, we own it, man. Those Bulls, man, are getting to the coach. but for us, I mean, really the ceiling is the national championship. And the reason why I say that is because we just came from winning the national championship. But in terms of this team, because it's such a different team and there's so many different players that are playing, we just got to slow down the expectations, and we got to take it one game at a time. We're going to have tough games all throughout this schedule, starting today with Texas. Matt's team is playing outstanding the way they played last week. We're going to have to see Washington. Of course, we got to see Ohio State at the end of the season. So we got to focus on each game one at a time and focus on trying to win the Big Ten championship and then try to get ourselves into that playoffs. So the difference about the way teams are nowadays or the way the playoffs are now, you can have a loss, you're still going to find yourself in. So, but we just got to take it one game at a time.
You could have a couple losses, especially in the Big Ten. I don't think the bottom's completely fallen out. You know, they lost a lot of key players, and I'm curious to see how the offense plays today. We know they have a great defense. It feels like the early Jim Harbaugh teams. We talked about it on our production call this week. They had Jake Rudock, they had the Wilton Speight. Those teams won 9-10 games. 10 wins is going to get you in the playoff this year. So the defense is going to carry this team. I just want to see how this offense plays, and unfortunately for them, they got to play one of the top 5 teams in the country today. So I think it is Big Ten championship. You win that, you're in the playoff. Right. There's still plenty to be excited about for this team.
Well, you guys mentioned it. The expectations are still there to win Big Ten championship, to win every game they play. They just won the national championship. But I see this team having 4 losses on the schedule. Definitely 3. They play 3 of the top 4 teams in the country, in my opinion. They have Texas today. They have Ohio State. They have Oregon. They have USC. Your Trojans who are